Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy that you're here today. In today's video, we are doing something different than I've done before. We are going to be sitting down, getting ready together, and watching the newest episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. So I'm going to give you all of my reactions. I'm going to sit here, I'm going to play with makeup because that's one of my favorite things to do in the world is watch TV and do my makeup and just get ready with you guys. So if that sounds like your thing, please continue watching. If you haven't yet, please consider subscribing, and please don't forget to leave this video a like because it really does help other people to find this video. It really helps out my channel, so I really appreciate it. And without further ado, let's just get right into it and let's get to watching. Hey guys, so it is the next day after I tried filming and posting this video last night, Sunday night. I sat down and I made a video that I was so excited about and so proud of, but it sadly got copyright blocked. Like, not even just like, hey, you can't monetize this or anything. It was straight up blocked. It had just too much copyrighted material in it. I am going to try to figure out how to do a proper sit down and react to a new episode video, just because I had so much fun making that video yesterday and I just thought it would turn out so well. And I think it would just be fun to be able to sit down with you guys and watch an episode as though we're watching it together. And something that I really enjoy about making these videos is being able to share the things that I love with you guys. And so I'm going to try to figure that out. If you have any tips for me on how to figure that out without getting copyright blocked, please let me know down in the comments. I'd love to hear any ideas that you have about how I could possibly carry that out, even if it's not on YouTube. Maybe it's on another platform. But anyways, I'm going to try and include clips in this video from that reaction last night. With all of that said, this video is going to be late and I am sorry about the late upload. It is early on Monday morning. I have just gotten ready for work and I'm filming this video before I have to go and do my job. But I wanted to sit down and talk about the episode because this was such a big one. Just jumping right into it, I think my favorite scene from this episode is the very beginning. It's the opener with Ayo and Bucky, and she is basically saying all of the magic words and she's testing him to see if they've actually gotten all of that Hydra brainwashing out of him, and it works, and you just see all the emotion on his face, and it's just like, I've watched it so many times and I have cried every single time watching that. It's just such a beautiful scene, and you really get to see like him process all the pain and suffering that he's been through and being able to just let that go and saying like it's over and it's never going to happen again. And it's just such a perfect moment. I think in general the Dora Milaje were my favorite part of this episode, period, because my next favorite part of this episode is when they showed up and they kicked John Walker's ass and just handed it to him. It was absolutely incredible. I loved seeing that, and I loved just seeing like how totally out of his element he was. And I think the thing that gets me about this guy is that he feels like he belongs, or he thinks that he belongs in this world and that he is on par with these guys, but in reality he's totally out of his depth. And you see him realize that at the end of this scene, and he's just like, they weren't even super soldiers. And you're like, yeah dude, but they're like Wakandan badass bitches. Like, you can't just step in there, and you're totally in another world now. You're not just in the army. This isn't just like the regular military. You are now in this other world with aliens and sorcerers and all sorts of things that you've never seen before. And so to go in that with an ego and to go into that thinking like, hey, I belong here, without actually earning your place, like, yeah, that's going to lead to some pretty major failure. And that's what we saw in this scene. But instead of, like doing the work and going to therapy and trying to figure out how he could fit in this world and checking his own ego, he instead is like, you know what? I'm just going to take some super soldier serum and now I belong, and now I have earned my place because I'm special. And in reality, that was never what made like Steve Rogers special. Like, yes, he had these special abilities, but it was his perspective, it was his attitude, it was his humility that really made him different. And that's what he's not getting. However, that is what we're seeing a lot of from Sam, where Sam, we really saw him step more into this Captain America persona. We really saw him do that when he was talking with Carly. You see his humility, you see his kindness, you see his humanity, and that is what makes Captain America Captain America. It's not the special abilities, it's the attitude, and it's the kindness, and it's the want to do good. It's that desire to do good and to change people's lives and to fight for truth and righteousness. And really the only difference between Sam and Carly, or Carly and Captain America, is that Carly is willing to take things to the extreme to accomplish her goals. That's really the only thing that makes her different. Her ideals are not really all that flawed. Like, they're definitely flawed, but her intentions are pure and her intentions are good and her intentions are to help people, but the way that she's going about it is incorrect. And that's really the difference. And we saw that contrast in their conversation, and it just, again, chef's kiss. I really am not surprised that Zemo has officially escaped. We knew that that moment was coming. I actually really appreciated that Zemo, even though he's crazy and clearly wrong and he's clearly a bad guy, he still also really sticks to his ideals, and he could have very easily taken the serum. He didn't. He instead destroyed it because he really understands what we've known since the first Captain America movie, which is that the serum makes good better and bad worse. I think in a way Zemo's ego saved him, where Zemo clearly is very self-assured. Zemo really likes himself. He likes his life. He has his ideals. He's a very principled person. And so he would also be the type, similar to Sam actually, where he's like, no, I wouldn't take the serum. That's not something I'm interested in, because he's very driven by the mission. He's very driven by what he's setting out to accomplish, which is actually pretty similar to Steve Rogers and pretty similar to Sam, and probably honestly similar to Bucky, but Bucky didn't get the option, right? Bucky was just tested upon, like he didn't have the choice. I think it was just such a really interesting way to show you a little bit more about Zemo and how he actually has these small things in common with our heroes, and that he didn't take the serum because he does have a respect for it, but he also knows that he doesn't need it to accomplish his goals. I wish, however, he had actually destroyed all of the serum, because as we saw, our friend Johnny boy found one of the vials and injected himself and now has superior abilities, but it's also kind of made him go crazy. And I do want to be fair to him. If I had seen someone murder my best friend or murder anyone in my life, I probably would have reacted the exact same way. There's no telling what I would do if someone like that just murdered my friend in front of me, and if I had the ability to go and do something about it, I don't know if I would be that different. So I do have some empathy for him, but at the same time, like, the look of absolute evil. Like, I'm just gonna, you know what, I'm just gonna show you my reaction, and I'm gonna play some music over it so that hopefully it doesn't get claimed, because this was such a truly shocking moment. All right, so we're back. We're back from that. I feel like I'm still watching that scene over and over, just like watching him with the shield, just like I can't get it out of my head. I'm pretty sure I had a nightmare about it last night. Truly horrifying. We only have 2 episodes left, and there's a lot to tie up, and we know that we now have to deal with John. We now have to deal with U.S. Agent, which I wonder if they're going to have him go by U.S. Agent, but we'll see. And I know that Zemo is gone. He's officially disappeared, but I think he only disappeared because he thought that he had accomplished his mission, which was to destroy all the super soldier serum. However, what he doesn't realize is that he didn't really. And he did share with us in this episode that super soldiers can't exist in his mind. So he is singularly focused on how he can destroy all the super soldiers. I'm really curious to see how he plays into the next couple of episodes, because clearly there's a lot of super soldier shit going on, and I bet you Zemo is going to have something to say about it. I do wonder if that's going to apply to Bucky, but we'll see. That one I'm not so sure about. I'm also curious to see how Sharon is going to play into the plot in the next 2 episodes. She clearly has something in her back pocket. She's clearly got something going on, and we just don't know what that is. I am sure it has something to do with the power broker. I have a feeling we're going to get the power broker in this next episode, and that somehow Sharon is going to be involved. Or I'm still there's like 5% of me that thinks that maybe she's the power broker, or that she's like a part of like the power broker squad, because something is up with that girl, and I just can't figure out exactly what it is yet. All right, guys, those are my quick reactions from this latest episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I thought that this was probably the best episode we've gotten so far. I really just loved everything that they did with every single character. I love what they're doing with the story. I am very nervous that we only have 2 more episodes, but Marvel hasn't let me down yet. And you know what? I felt the same way with WandaVision, and look how that turned out. That was amazing. So thank you guys so much for tuning in. I know that this video is a little bit different, and I know that it's late, but I'm glad that you're here anyway. Hopefully I can figure out how to do a like sit down and watch with me type of video for next week, or maybe for the finale. We'll see, but I'd be open to hearing any of your advice for how to pull that off if you happen to know down in the comments. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means so much to me that you spend your time with me. I love making these videos. I hope you enjoy watching them as much as I enjoy making them. I am back here on my channel every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern, except for today. So I hope that you decide to come back and visit me for another episode in the future. If you haven't yet, please consider liking and subscribing. It really helps out my channel, and it helps other people to find this video. Thank you guys so much for being here. It means so much to me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!